Welcome back everyone. In this lesson we will deal with animations. As you can see now, our bird does not have any animation, so when it dies it's the same expression as when it flies. So we want to change that. So go ahead to our scene, click on our bird, go to Window and find Animation. As you can see, this little tab opens and we will move it next to our scene. Go ahead and click on Create. We do not have any folder for our animations, so go ahead and right click, New folder, which will be called Animations. Double click to open it, and our first animation will be called Fly1. So type Fly1 and hit Save. So our bird will be just changing its sprite from Fly1 to Fly2, and visually it will look like one animation. So let's go ahead and click on Add Property, Sprite Renderer, find Sprite and click this little plus next to it. As you can see, now we have our bird. This is one animation that is 1 second long. I've just told you that we do not need any animation, just two sprites and changing states. That's why we will delete the end of this animation. Let's go ahead and copy the first one by clicking on it and pressing Ctrl+C on our keyboard. Let's go ahead and create another one. So click on Fly1, create new clip. This one will be called Fly2 and hit Save. This time we do not have to add property, just hit Ctrl+V on your keyboard. There it is, our Fly2, but we do not want it to look like this, so go ahead to our project, open up sprites, find bird sprite 1 and drag it over to our bird. We did this just to make sure that both of our states are in the correct position, and that is 0.0. Let's do the same for our dead state. So go ahead to Fly, create new clip. This will be called dead, hit enter to save and just do the same. Click on it, Ctrl+V, go to project, bird sprite 2 and drag it over our bird. Now we have the three states of our animation. Let's go ahead and animate them. So go to Window, find Animator, go to Parameters, click on this plus right next to the name. If it's frozen, go ahead to our scene and click on the bird again. And now we have our plus, trigger, name it Fly2. Let's add another one, which will be trigger and dead. So initially our state is Fly1. When our bird flies, so when it flaps its wings, we want to change to Fly2. When our bird dies, we want to change from Flap1 to dead. That's why we have imported just two parameters, Fly2 and dead. As you can see, here we have our 5 shapes. So drag it for us to see it here. So initially we're on Fly1. We want to make a transition from Fly1 to dead first. So click on Fly1, right click, make transition. This little line appears and just drag it to dead. Click on that and now we made a transition. Click on the white line, go to Inspector and uncheck Has Exit Time. So exit time is a special transition that does not rely on a parameter. So if it's checked, our animation would be played and then over, but our animation needs to be played on trigger, on some condition. As you can see here, transition needs at least one condition or an exit time to be valid. So we will have one condition, which we will add right now. Go ahead to Conditions, click on this little plus. So condition for our bird to die is dead. Now let's get back to our animator, make transition to and back from Fly1. So Fly1, right click, make transition, Fly2, click on Fly2, right click, make transition to Fly1. Now choose the white line that goes to Fly2, uncheck the Has Exit Time, and condition will be Fly2. Now when it comes to our transition from Fly2 to Fly1, we want to have this Has Exit Time checked. And now we need to specify when will our animations be played. So get back to our Scene tab, find bird script in our scripts folder, and double click to open it up. Since we used animator, we have to make a variable for it. So private animator, which we will name animator. Now we have to define it in start. So animator equals get component animator. Now we have to specify when will our animations be played. We have two animations to define. So first one is fly to. That happens whenever we press our screen, which is defined in our update method. So if our bird is not dead and if we detect any input on our screen, we want to make sure that our bird flaps its wings. So just add animator.setTrigger, open the bracket, put quotation marks, and type fly to. Next animation is dead. Our bird is dead when it enters collision. Here we have our private void on collision enter 2D, and we want to add our animation. So animator.setTrigger, open the bracket, quotation marks, dead. Let's save everything and get back to Unity to check how it looks like. We can close Animation and Animator tab by right-clicking on the tab and Close tab. Click on Play, and when our bird died, we see that it changed animation to our dead bird. Now let's go ahead and flap. When it flies, it changes animation to fly to. That's it for now, guys. See you next time.